Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Let's give it a few moments before we proceed live and we start the stream. Hello, Andrew. What's up? Hello, hello, Giuseppe. Welcome in the stream. Let's wait a few moments. Let's give some time to the people to join in. The live stream is already started, but let's make it official in a few moments. Hello, Luigi. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. We're starting in a couple of minutes. 20 people. Guys, leave a like just to start, just to give me some love. This is the first live stream we're doing. Thank you for being here. We're starting in a minute. I don't want to be late for the market open. The market is opening in 25 minutes, so I would say let's start this stream right now. So here we go. Let's start the stream. Welcome everyone. A special thanks and ciao to all my Italian friends tuning in. Great to have you here. So first of all, a huge thank you to FunderPro, to Lito, to Giuseppe, to Felix, for hosting this series and trusting me with your screen and time. So today we'll trade futures on the FunderPro web platform that you can see on my screen. And perhaps in the next sessions, I'll show you how the same exact technique map one-to-one to FunderPro CFDs for those who prefer that route. So let me introduce myself. My name is Michele Rossi. I'm Italian. I'm an investor, educator, and a trader. I've been doing this for about 15 years, and I run a community where I trade live every single day. So today markets are gonna be really busy and volatile because of many reasons, but let's start from the beginning. So today it's a very important day because it marks the start of our official collaboration with FunderPro, and I hope it's just the start of something huge and beautiful. And I'm here to bring you one big idea. So most traders drown in technical tricks. Do you agree? Leave me a comment in the chat. ICT, SMC, trend lines, whatever. You've seen them all. But be honest with me. How many times did someone draw 5, 10, 15 lines and call it a strategy? How many times you saw that? TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram. So here's my conviction coming from 15 years in the business. Those lines mean nothing if they're not backed by fundamental, intermarket, and sentiment analysis. So technicals are just my fourth pillar, not the first, the fourth. I repeat, fundamental analysis, intermarket, sentiment analysis, and then technical analysis. So when you stack all four pillars together, your probability of finding an A+ class setup skyrocket. So who here has heard the phrase 90% of traders lose money? How many of you? You're nodding, right? And yet 90% of the education you find online is just technical analysis. Do you agree? Then a real world shock hits, like the political shift we saw this year, the start of this year, with Trump stepping back into the scene. And suddenly the market does the impossible. Okay? If you don't understand the macro drivers, you don't just miss the move. You don't even understand why your stop got hit. And then you repeat the same mistake again and again and again. So my mission here is to help you break that loop. Today, I will scalp, at least I will try to scalp using one of the simple and most used playbook, the orb, the opening range breakout, but not the kindergarten version, not just the draw a box and play. We'll anchor the orb to the day's fundamental and sentiment context. So we trade with intent, not hope. So what moved the markets? News, okay? We agree on that. Always news, macroeconomic and geopolitical. And yes, I don't use Forex Factory like retail furrows. I use Refinitiv Econ, the Reuters terminal, which is right next to me. Some of you may know Bloomberg. It costs $36,000 per year. That's institutional flow. So whenever you see a furrow flexing Forex Factory on YouTube, red flag for me. Big warning sign. Now, let's recap the macros this week so far because the context is king. Monday, September 29th, Trump spoke. Markets opened the week cautiously positive, as you can see from the 4-hour charts on the dollar index in the middle, the volatility S&P 500 key index, the gold, and the Nasdaq on the left. Tech, crypto, and gold all moved in sync, showing resilience. Optimism was driven by the Fed rate cut expectations. Markets are pricing in a 100 chance of 25 basic points cut at the end of October. But geopolitical noise kept gold bid. Tuesday, September 30, messy day. Chicago PMI collapsed to 40.6. So that's a deep contraction. Consumer confidence slipped to 94.2, below forecast. But JOLTS job openings ticklings lighted up to 7.227 million. Another Trump speech at 5 p.m., if I remember correctly, added political uncertainty. Risk assets chopped sideways. Gold still the safe play. indices hesitant. Yesterday, Wednesday, October 1st, boom. ADP employment report shocked the market. Instead of a 52K jobs, we got a minus 32K, and the revision of the previous month to down 2K. That's catastrophic miss. Manufacturing PMI printed 49.1, so just above contraction. ISM prices cooled down to 61, let me check, 61.9. And oil inventories built 1.79 million barrels. Translation of this is labor market is weakening, manufacturing is fragile, inflation is sticky. So we're talking about stagflation, and energy is piling up. So what's the next effect? Sentiment tilt to risk off. Even if equity is held, thanks to the rate cuts hope. So in 3 days, we have seen weak labor data, PMI hovering at the line of contraction, oil inventories building up, Trump dominating political headlines, and today, government shutdown freezing key data. And this is the leads of today. So normally, Thursday, we got jobless claims. But with the US government shutdown, claims are not published. The same risk applies to tomorrow's NFP. We might not even get non-farm payroll. Last time the US went into shutdown was 6 years ago. Payrolls were just skipped, gone. And if you think traders love uncertainty, no, they hate it, at least professional trader. When data goes missing, markets gets messy. Liquidity thins, volatility spikes randomly. So today might be one of the hardest trading days in years. Sorry about that. Not because of the numbers, but because of the lack of numbers. So the bottom line is super simple. Fewer data points, more uncertainty, order flow likely, messy, volatile, and emotional. That's why we lean harder on the 4 pillars and keep risk first. Let me be clear. This is education. This is not a financial advice. Do not copy my trades if I'm going to take one. Prop firms don't like it, and you don't share my full plan size or risk control. So here's how I treat prop. That might be your question. And if you got question, leave it in the chat below. I've got 5 50K challenges loaded in my FunderPro dashboard. Historically, out of 10 challenge, I burn about 5. I pass about 5, and I pay out about on 3. That's ROI. If I mess up early, I don't waste month. I just hit results consistently. And once I'm funded, then I slow down. I protect the account and unlock payouts. And here's where FunderPro kills the competition. After 3 payouts, you unlock daily payouts. Daily. Meaning I could make 1,000 today and on stream and request it tonight. Show me another prop that does that. And I hope that we can do this together. Also, the platform has a trade copier group right here. Accounts. You can manage your account, create a group, a workplace, whatever you want, and you can sync account together and trade on all of them. So here's how I'll play it. We'll mark the opening of the day, the 5-minute, and later on the 15 minutes, the first 15 minutes range. But I I will only act if price aligned with the macro bias, so shut down uncertainty, risk off, tilts unless tape proves otherwise. Intermarket tells that DXY yields crude, gold, and sector breadth. And number 3, tape behavior. Not just one tick outside the box, but impulse, plus acceptance beyond range. Stops and target will be predefined. I usually go for a 1, 2, multiple R on the demo accounts if I have to pass evaluation process, and I target 1-to-1 if I am inside of a funded step, so with the live account. So if volatility spikes, we sights down, of course. If I hit the daily pause, we stop. FunderPro will auto flatten and pause anyway. And that's a feature, not a punishment. And if you're new here, and I guess you are, I see some people from my academy, but if you're new here, it's the first time you're seeing me, let's be clear. You won't see Lambos. You won't see Dubai Skylines. You won't see fake Rolexes. I live in a small Italian town between the hills. My passion are Formula One and horses. I have a stable. I drive a practical SUV, and the next car it will also be something big enough to load up my wife, my daughter, and all the gear for racetrack days or weekends at the stable. You'll see my stop losses. You will see me fail challenges. You'll also see me pass and pay out. I hope so. So that's transparency. If you're here for shortcuts and hype, you're in the wrong room. But let's make this fun enough and let's stay together. If you have questions, leave it down below in the chat. We got 10 minutes for market open, and I will start to mark up the chart. And just a side note while we're waiting, just for you guys that likes and love CFDs, so if you're trading with FunderPro, not FunderPro futures, you have immediate daily payouts. So with futures, you need to wait and make 3 payouts. With CFDs, you have immediate daily payouts. That means you trade, you make profit, you make $200 today, and you can request instant payout. And that's crazy. No other prop, at least with a huge background such as FunderPro and otherwise that I'm aware, does that. No one, nobody. So Simone, I will trade the 15-minute orb, and I will also check on the 5-minute orb. How do I handle psychology specifically while live scalping? So psychology is mostly overrated. If you have good education, if you spend enough time charting and understanding the context, the macros, you have a pre-market plan, which I do have. Every day I step on the chart, I check the technical levels that you can see here on my chart. I run through, and today it's on my mind, but it's been 15 years. I'm doing this. I'm 38, by the way. I used to sign up. I have a paper with something I write down with my pen. So I mark up the market condition, the intermarket. I sign up and mark up if I have impacting news, if some speech is about to happen. So yes, I mark up everything, and every time I open a trade is because 9 times out of 10 I've already decided if this then that. So we have 7 minutes. Let's just give a little example. Let's go back in time just a few minutes. This is a few hours. This is a 30 minutes chart. So if I am bullish on Nasdaq, and this is micro Nasdaq, E-mini Nasdaq, and I see a huge move on the upside, then I see a accumulation, then another step up during the night Asia session, then I see another consolidation. I usually go with a box, what I call a box, which is nothing more than a support and the resistance. And then I say, what fundamentals are telling me? So what the Fed wants to do, they want to cut rates. Cut rates are priced in. So I'm gonna go and look onto the upside. We got earning reports which are showing the big eight. I don't know how to say it, how you say it in English. The beautiful eight, the big eight. So Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Tesla, Broadcom. If we got good report on this, and also I'm looking at this chart and they're showing bullish, so I'm gonna say, do I have a good structure? Yes. What intermarket is telling me? We have a beautiful outflow from, let's say, precious or commodities. The money is being moved from one side to the other. Magnificent 8. Thanks, Carola. Are going to be moved from one side to another. They just don't take profit. They just move it around. Okay. So I expect money inflow into the tech sector. Sentiment. What's the sentiment? We have a risk on sentiment. So risk asset are gonna take benefit from that. So I'm gonna look at the upside. So then I can chart, mark up my technicals, and say, if we have, let's say, a news and it's telling me good news for the Nasdaq, I'm gonna go long. I'm gonna enter here and put my take profit, let's say, right here. I can use a round number. I can use a risk reward minimum 1-to-1, minimum. I never ever risk more than 1%. Okay. And or if I target 1 to 2 risk reward, I'm gonna risk 1, look for 2, and then I take a partial down the way. Or and I like to trade with the trend, because you want, I take it very, very logically. Do you want to swim on with the flow of the stream, or you want to go against the flow of the stream? You know what I mean? You can get the same results, but it's gonna be harder. Perhaps you're gonna get the same result. I want to go with the flow. Okay, so I want to follow the trend. Everybody say that, and I do agree with everybody. Follow the trend. And if I want to take a sell, I'm going to take this sell. Does this sell make sense? Do I have at least one-to-one risk reward? Yes, but it's not beautiful. I do not have the perfect setup. So this is this an A plus setup? Whatever, it doesn't matter if it takes stop loss or take profit. It just needs to be something that I can see again today, make my minds out of it, wrap up my conviction, and repeat. So is this A plus setup? What do you think? I think this is not A plus setup. This is B. This is C. So I'm not gonna take this trade. Hey, yo, Michele, but this Jeep down, and you could have made a 1-2-65 risk reward. Yes, coulda, woulda, 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 oughta, woulda. In Italy, we say, and it's very funny, if my uncle would have had wheels, she would have been a good car or something like that. And it sounds stupid, but it makes sense. It makes sense. So it doesn't matter what you say after. Okay? It depends if whether or not the market is overbought or oversold. Yes, the greater amount, but you will not be ever able to tell that unless you have more sophisticated instrument, which I'm not gonna show today. But you can use volumetric trading or other services with level 2 depth of market, so order flow and the heat map to have better view of the market. So yes, let's see. So the market opens, it's pushing down. This on the right, you can see the S&P. On the left, you can see the NAS. Let's see if we find a setup. No, it's not dropping because it's overbought. It's just dropping because you don't know why. And there's nothing you can say that can change my views on that. You think opening an RSI that tells you overbought, oversold is going to tell you where to buy or where to sell? Quant trading are automating, so they're coding with Python the RSI. Do you think they never did? They did. They tried every single setup. It's not gonna work long term. It's gonna work maybe randomly short term. So guys, I trade only during New York Open. So inside of my community, I go live between 2 to 4 p.m. every day. And then I have this thing with FunderPro that I'm doing between 3 and 4 p.m. Italian time. So between, I don't know what time are you based, but 30 minutes. We started 30 minutes ago and we're going for other 30 minutes. That's my window. Yes, that I agree, the greater amount. It's best to look at the market structure rather than an indicator. I don't use no indicators except for the VWAP. That's the only indicator that I've ever used. The VWAP, the volume weighted average price. That's the only indicator that I personally use. So I'm gonna wait for the first 5 minutes of the session. Hi, Serena. And yes, I'm looking at many charts. I'm not looking only at one chart at a time. So I'm looking at multiple charts while I'm trading because I want to see the full of the market. I want to have a clear idea of the overall market before I enter a trade, even if that's a scalp. And today, let me put in this disclaimer again. Today, it's personally for me, to me, it's one of the most difficult days. So I'm so sorry that this is the first day we're meeting here, but it's one of the most difficult days ever because the last time the government shut down was 6 years ago. So it was a totally different scenario. So it's super, super difficult to say, hey, let's take this trade. So we got our over here, first 5 minutes. So this is the 5-minute orb. So we got a support right here, got a resistance right here. We can play in between. We can play outside of the box. So I might want to look for something like this. I might want to look for something like this. Okay, so get the direction. Serena, thanks, Michele. Since I follow you for the first time, I'm passing a challenge with ease and quality trade. You're very welcome. It's you. It's not me. Thank you for the thank you, but thanks. Thank yourself. Then on the S&P, which I take very strong consideration, this is the, sorry, this is MNQ, but this is, yes, I guess we might see the NASDAQ going down here before we might even reverse. Let's see how the orb is playing out. Then we decide, or we're gonna wait for the 15 minutes. So this is a good range. This is a good range. Yeah, guys, don't forget we're running at they're running FunderPro together. They're running 20% off right now using the code that you see down below, right here, down below. The code is live. So if you're asking me, why didn't you trade that sell that she said it have high probability to go down there? It doesn't mean that if it has a good probability. I want my setup, and is not showing at the moment. It's not showing at the moment. We are on a good level right now. As you can see, the ES, which is the S&P 500, already pushed down to the same level, 6,772. My setup is not showing at this very moment. So if I don't see a setup, I do not open a trade. We're heading down to the low of the London Open, which is down at 25.60 right here, about right here, 25.60. That's another point of interest. So if we're gonna have a 15-minute orb down here, and we see some sort of consolidation, fake out on the downside, then re-enter the orb, I'm gonna play the buy. Patience is key. Risk management is key. So as I said before, you can see this uncertainty. So the shutdown might cause a temporary risk off that might be pushing down the S&P and the Nasdaq. So it's not technical. It's not because it's overbought. How many times have you seen in the last month the Nasdaq going higher and 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 never stop, just with small retracements? Why didn't you buy, Michele? Why didn't you sell, Michele, if you're telling this with all this conviction? Because, as I said, I have 4 pillars, not 1, 4. And all of them need to align. I want to see all of 4 align for me to take a trade. Because trading for me is not a game, it's making money. And every time you open a trade, you risk your money. So we got the swap of London low. We just swapped London low. We just swapped the true day open, which is the time at which the market open, the new day. In Italy is midnight. Where do you guys come from? Put it in the chat. Do I think it's going to touch again the psychological number 25,000? It can be. Can be. It's possible. We have a huge range. We have a super huge range. 112 points on the downside. That's unusual, at least in the last couple of weeks. Two minutes for the 15-minute orb. So again, we're starting to create some consolidation at 25.50. And again, it's keep on pushing down. Dollar is gaining strength. The VIX is pushing higher. Magnificent 8 doing nothing. Consolidation. Let's go back inside of the range. Let's see, we have the orb. Let's see if we have a nice reversal right here. Let's see. I want to see these guys. I want to see this. 1, 2, let's go. This is gonna be my partial. This is gonna be my full TP. If what I'm looking for is happening, it's gonna happen right now. In the trade, my stop loss is down below right here. My take profit is right here. Let's see if this play out. So retest of the orb. As you can see, I size down. I'm risking $64 today because it's a difficult day. So I don't want to scale in. We're gonna see bigger trades, but I'm doing this over 5 accounts. So 96 per 5 account. It's a good number. Do you agree? This is the market open, the true day open is holding as a resistance. If it breaks above, we have higher chance of going higher. We have a clean range right here to fill. And stop loss. So it just break out of the orb low. Let's see if it gives us another opportunity. I usually don't go more than 3 trades in one day, and we only have 10 minutes left. If you have some question, drop it down in the chat. It's a boring day. Trading is boring. No, it's fun when you make money. We might have another opportunity if I see this flip back around here and retest. I'm gonna try again the same move as before. Might be even better. If that happened. Here we have it, Carola. 25,000 on the way. Where are you guys from? Tell me in the chat. Where are you from, guys? apart from the Italian people, which I know. India, nice. We want to see these candle close above. Not perfect. Perhaps something like this. Stop loss down below right here. I'm gonna test this trade. Let's see if it plays out, if it hit my entry point and activate my order. There you go. I'm in the trade. This is gonna be the last trade I'm gonna test today. We are at the low of the orb. We got a lot of confluences. Similar to what we did before. Hopefully this time it's gonna go our way. Let's see. I don't want to see the price flip back to my stop loss again, so I'm half sizing the stop loss. I'm gonna put the stop loss down here. So basically it's like I'm gonna risk half position. If it keeps on flips back and do like this, I don't wanna force it. No, doesn't want to do that. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So my trading day is basically over. Not a good start. Not a good start. But it is what it is. The risk is super low that we took. I lost $1,000, which is nothing. As I said, this is a super difficult day. And that's why I use the super micro mini mini boo. Lots. If you have questions, guys, I'm here to answer all of your questions for other 4 minutes. And before that, let me remember all of you guys that the link to buy the challenge with the 20% discount is down below. The code is live, is the code. Then you have the link down below in the description. I remember you guys that you can trade this same strategy that I'm doing, both CFDs or futures, and I'm gonna do the same. So I'm gonna go and trade also CFDs for you guys to see. Manage the risk is the first rule. If it's a no day, it's fine. If it's a great day, we celebrate. But like someone before asked me about psychology, this is psychology, is to have a plan, follow the plan. It doesn't matter today, take profit or stop loss, doesn't really matter. As far as I'm not over leveraging, over trading, loud, like now maybe I'm gonna see another trade, I'm gonna take another trade. No, it's out of my plan. I'm not gonna play that trade. So if you enjoyed this session, please share the stream, leave a like, comment down below, and remember, and let me remember our weekly schedule. So on the Funder Pro Instagram channel, you're gonna find on Monday, every Monday, the weekly prep. So fundamental intermarket sentiment roadmap for the week. On Thursday, we're gonna be here live streaming, and you're gonna see everything. So win, loss, we're gonna have everything unpacked. Transparency, you're gonna see if I'm losing, if I'm trading, I'm gonna be burning some account, I'm gonna be making some profit. We're gonna see together. Hopefully I'm not gonna burn so many accounts, but it's part of the game. Let's normalize, like all these gurus showing only wins. It's not true. It's not possible. It's not sustainable. Trading is losing, winning, losing, winning, break even, losing, winning, break even. And at the end, you want to be just a little bit in profit. And with a $100,000 account, perhaps just 1% a month, it's $1,000. Just clicking buttons while sitting in front of your computer. Is that a good mentality? What do you think? Then on Friday, we're going to have a weekly recap. So what happened versus what was priced. So we're going to see together. So if you don't have any question, let me check. When a central bank releases unexpected statements, how do you decide whether to jump immediately or wait for confirmation? I always wait for confirmations. So let me be super clear. 90% of traders say do not trade the news. Is that correct? Have you heard that before? I say trade the news because I want to be part of the 10% that makes money. So 90% of the people say do not trade the news. 90% of the traders lose money. You find that written down the chat, every brokers, correct? So see, look, we might see the play. You know, this is the play. Super easy, but it's out of my trading time. It's out of my plan. So if now the price goes up here, I might have say, oh damn, you see, I saw that, I could have, would have, should have. No, we don't know what it's gonna do now. If it goes up, it goes down, it doesn't matter. Stay consistent. Find your way. Write down the plan, follow the plan. Okay, that's the most important thing. So guys, what to say? Thanks for being here with me. If you don't have any other question, stay sharp, stay humble, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.